Not going to court, but to the legislature, as Ohio lawmaker is proposing a new bill in the legislature to limit Ohio State football's noon kickoffs. Are you a person who loves noon kickoff games? You probably do if you're staying at home and watching on TV and it's a rival team that you don't particularly have to go watch. But if you want to go see them in person, getting up to tailgate at 8 in the morning is not quite as fun. You can get what it is, but instead of having an evening game, having a morning game, 11 o'clock or 12 kickoff is a bit of a stretch, but they have to do it for the TV rights because the big games. Ohio State's a big time football program, and so they want to get them on some of these game day things, and so a lot of times they get on for 12 o'clock kickoffs. But State Representative Tex Fischer has introduced a bill to restrict the early kickoff times for Ohio State football games. Proposed legislation will prohibit games involving Ohio State University from starting before 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, with exception to the rivalry against Michigan, which starts at noon. That always starts at noon. This bill specifically targets marquee matchups where both teams are ranked in the top 10 of the Associated Press poll. Violation of this proposal would rule a $10 million fine imposed on the broadcasting network or a conference scheduling the game. So whoever decides to put Ohio State in a game that's at noon, before 3:30 p.m., if you will, is going to pay $10 million. Now, is it worth it? Maybe it is, but we'll see how that plays out. So the response to this appears to show that Fischer is a fan, and the satisfaction of the rest of the fans in the early game times is basically pulling into this behind this. Those scheduled for Fox's big noon kickoff specifically because Ohio State's played a bunch of those games, especially the season over against Texas, two big-time powerhouses playing at noon intensified the concerns. But essentially, getting a good game on early means you get people watching early, and maybe they'll stick around for later games, as opposed to people expecting a bigger game to watch later. From Fischer, a quote, social media stating, "A few weeks ago, I said it would be a crime for Fox to put Ohio State versus Texas at noon. Promises made, promises kept. While the bill has garnered some attention, its prospects for passage remain uncertain, where critics argue that such legislation may overstep by attempting to regulate game scheduling, which is typically managed by athletic conferences and the broadcasting networks. Basically, it's their job to figure out which games will play better to folks and make the most money for them going forward. Nonetheless, the proposal is up there. It's going to go for some sort of talk, maybe a vote to include going forward. Maybe it's something worth paying for a $10 million fine. Now, other teams with high profiles are thinking something like this may be something to do. It's stuff like Penn State concerning things for stuff like that. And right now, there's legislation going on in Texas that is legislator specific, where I'm not sure if it's all games in college for Texas or just games in Houston, but they want to ban 10 Cruz because 10 Cruz tends to be a big fan of Houston football, Houston games. He likes to show up, people boo him, and they tend to lose when he shows up. Legislation for college football is a bigger deal than you think. It may be a silly sort of story, but the fact that Ohio State wants to regulate the times for games could cost the network some issues, could cause them issues, could cost them money either way, and in the case of Ted Cruz, might gain a fan base. We shall see.